It is a home run, a grand slam. I can't believe it. This is the greatest, most exciting finish in World Series history. I had already thrown my helmet into the air, rounded first base, and was leaping like an impala toward second by the time the announcer said, "The Cardinals are world champions." It was the zenith of baseball drama. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, last game of the World Series. We were 3 runs down. I stepped out of the box and did all the things nervous batters do. Knocked the dirt out of my spikes, held the bat behind my head with both hands, and twisted my torso twice each way. Took a practice swing, adjusted my helmet, breathed deeply, made sure the Louisville Slugger label faced me, dug back in with my right foot, and tapped the outside corner of the plate with my bat. Never had I concentrated so hard. Never had I found it so hard to concentrate. "Don't swing at a bad pitch," I said to myself as I riveted my eyes on the horsehide in the pitcher's hand. "But you've got to swing at anything that's close. Whatever you do, don't strike out." Every one of the 50,000 people in the stadium was standing and screaming. 100 million people were watching on television. For the rest of their lives, people would remember where they were when they saw the next 5 seconds. For generations to come, parents would tell their children about what I did with this pitch. In it came, a heater right in my wheelhouse. The swing was pure instinct, a sharp wooden crack, and my name became a household word. If you've ever hit a fastball with a sweet spot of a bat, you know how magical the world seems for a moment, and the world never felt more wondrous than at that moment. Before I got to third, fans were spilling over the walls past the hopelessly outnumbered security personnel, converging on me as if I were giving $1 million to the first one who reached me. Pushing past them, I reached home, leaped on it with both feet, and bounced into the waiting mob of teammates. Like a human tsunami, they rushed me with a force that flattened me. After the initial crush, we were up, hugging and jumping like ecstatic 3-year-olds. Then I felt something under my legs, and before I knew it, I was aloft on the shoulders of 2 fellow players. The crowd roared even louder. You'd think you'd get used to something like this after you'd been through it a few times, but I never have. I first hit this home run when I was about 6, yet it has never lost its thrill for me, even though I've won at least 1,000 World Series championships with 1,000 other Grand Slams. Of course, I've known similar, equally exciting moments. The long, incredible touchdowns I've scored to win several Super Bowls were exhilarating. The last-second 75-foot shots to win NCAA and NBA championships were similarly electrifying. What? You've never seen them? Well, I have, many times. In my mind. Each of us daydreams on occasion, as we have since early childhood. Most of us have fantasized about what we'd do if we inherited millions of dollars from some long-lost relative, where we would live, what kind of home we would build, what kind of car we would drive, where we would travel, and so on. Perhaps you've daydreamed about being a battlefield hero or a graceful ballerina or an Olympic skier. Some fantasize about life as accomplished singers, musicians, or master craftsmen, or in possession of some kind of happily ever after. Maybe you sometimes imagine how it would be if you were a spellbinding speaker, a Top Gun fighter pilot, or just retired to a quiet life in a lakeside cabin, far from crowds and hurry. I'm sure you've had fantasies of heaven and what life is like there, and you've probably tried to imagine the horrors of hell. Continuing on the darker side, you've certainly been tempted to sinfully fantasize about different physical pleasures. But of all your fantasies, which is the strongest? Which daydream thrills you more than any other? In their best moments, Christians would choose the ones about being in heaven with God and being made perfect and without sin. Although Christians daydream about earthly things too, even sinful things, Christians' most consistently absorbing contemplations are on spiritual things and the things of God. But that's not true with others. Non-Christians can identify themselves as those who, if they could indulge any fantasies, would choose to indulge some sin.